Have you ever wondered if there's really any difference between the manufacturer's expensive batteries and those cheap knockoff compatible brand ones that you see on Amazon and eBay? Well, today I'm going to put them to the test and see if the compatible ones are worth it or if you're just throwing your money away. The results might just surprise you. What's up, woodworkers? Ben here, and I've got myself a DeWalt drill and impact driver here with the original DeWalt batteries, one of my existing compatible batteries, and I've got another set of compatible batteries as well. So we're testing 3 different brands today. For comparison, this 4 amp hour DeWalt battery would cost anywhere between £40 and £50 to buy. This 6 amp hour compatible one was about £25, and these two 5.5 amp hour batteries were £43.99 for the pair. So it could be a significant cost saving if this works out. Now, the eagle-eyed viewers here will have seen that I've got a few different amp hours, which means that the test should yield different results. But ultimately, I wanted to get a rough overview to see how they pan out. Technically, we should expect more from the 6 amp hour battery versus the 4 amp hour battery, but as one is compatible and the other one is a manufacturer one, I thought it might be interesting to see if the claims of the higher amp hours actually rings true, or if it's just a sticker on the side that's not necessarily telling us the truth. My initial thoughts are that even if a 5.5 or 6 amp hour compatible battery only lasts as long as the 4 amp hour original battery, then it might still be worth getting the compatible ones based on the fact that you can get 2 for the price of 1. Yes, your original one might last a little bit longer, but having a spare means that you can be charging one while the other's in use, or you've got one in your drill and one in your impact driver, for example. However, this is all just guesswork until I've done the test, so let's get stuck in. So what I've done is charge each battery fully before the test, and then I'll use the same drill and driver for the entire test. I got this big old chunky gate post that I pulled out recently, and I thought it'd be the perfect thing to drill some holes into. I'll be drilling 50 holes with standard brad point bits, 50 holes with Forstner bits, and 50 with the auger bits. And then I'll be screwing in as many screws as I can. I'll be noting down the number of holes and screws I get from each battery, and we'll see the results at the end. Right, well, it became very apparent early on that 50 brad point holes wasn't going to be enough, but 50 holes with the Forstner and auger bits was going to be too much. So I completely changed my plan and ended up drilling 100 holes with a 10mm brad point bit before drilling 20 holes with a 32mm Forstner bit, followed by 10 holes with the 35mm auger bit. Then I moved on to screwing in all the screws I had, which randomly totaled 173 screws. Once I'd screwed all the screws in, I started drilling some more auger holes to see how many I could get until the battery ran out. All finished, and the DeWalt 4 amp hour battery managed a benchmark figure of 11¼ more holes with the auger bit, bringing the total auger holes to 21¼ Next up, we're going to try the 5.5 amp hour battery from PD Station. This is one of the compatible ones. So it powered through the initial brad point holes, Forstner holes, and first 20 auger holes, then smashed straight through the screws as well. So I moved on to the last set of auger holes. And remember, the 4 amp hour set a target of 11¼ holes to beat. So let's see how we get on. 1 hole, 2 holes, 3 holes, 4 holes, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we're coming up to the 11¼ that the DeWalt did. Just 2 holes left. But wait, what is this? Oh no, it's given up. Yep, there it is, 9¼ holes. So 2 less than the DeWalt. The last battery I've got is the 6 amp hour one from a company called Vanon, V-A-N-O-N. So I'm going to give this one a try now, see how we get on. This one isn't as new as the PD Station 5.5 amp hour one, but it's still newer than the 4 amp hour one from DeWalt. So it'll show a good overview based on capacity and age. It went through all the brad point and Forstner bits without a problem, but I think the Forstner bit was feeling a bit of the pain of having drilled a bunch of holes previously, which meant that the drill started overheating. And by the time I got to the auger bit, it only managed a few before not working. However, looking at the charge of the battery and how easily it fired up when I was taking it out, I decided to give it the benefit of the doubt and let the drill cool down while I screwed in the screws. Sure enough, the screws worked fine, and the good news is that it all screwed in the screws with no problem, which gave the drill time to cool down. Once I'd screwed in the screws and let the drill cool, I stuck the battery back in the drill and started banging holes into the wood with the auger bit. Because I'd already drilled 5.5 holes, I just picked up where I left off. And as it had just had 1 bar left on the battery power indicator, I didn't have much hope. But I started drilling and drilling and drilling. And the thing just kept going like the Terminator. Bearing in mind the DeWalt had a total of 21.25 holes with the auger bit, whereas this one ended up drilling a grand total of slightly under 29 holes. Oh yeah, there we go. I thought I'd charge the batteries up when they'd been fully drained and see how long they took to fully charge up. Interestingly, the PD Station one took nearly twice as long as the DeWalt, and the Vanon one, despite having a lot more work and a higher amp hours, it still charged up in the same time to the DeWalt. I added these results to the rest and did a little cost and quality analysis to see where we stand. I'd say that the results of the test were fairly even between the DeWalt and the PD Station ones, with the Vanon coming out on top for longevity, but that would make sense as it's the highest amp hours. The biggest result of all though is the price for the compatible batteries. In all honesty, the very small difference in performance is massively outweighed by the drastic difference in price. For the price of 1 DeWalt battery, I can get 2 of the compatible ones. The PD Station ones I got came in a 2-pack, and it appears that most of the compatible batteries on Amazon are generally sold in pairs. I'll leave some links in the description if you want to check them out. Hopefully this video gave you some good information, and at the very least you enjoyed it. If you're interested in tests like this, tool reviews and woodworking projects, then you'll want to hit the subscribe button. And I think you'll like this video next.